Hey, I'm Maria, your Canadian language expert, and I'm here with my friend.
Mark, I'm also a Canadian language expert.
And we're here to talk today about Canadian slang. So let's get started with the basics with Canadian money.
So let's start off with number one, the loonie.
Number one, the loonie. Doesn't mean crazy, it just looks like this. $1.
It's just a gold coin.
Just a gold coin. And this is the Toonie. The Toonie represents $2. And this is actually a collector's coin that I have been saving. It's my Toonie, but this one's actually special because it's the Vimy Ridge Toonie. Represents a very important battle from the First World War.
Very historic.
Yes. If you find any collector's coins, I suggest that you hold on to them. Now, before, when I was a kid, we used to have a $2 bill. Do you remember the $2 bill?
Yeah, I actually
It was
do.
kind of like orangey, yellowy.
It was like brownish orange, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have one with me, but I know at home I have a few of them saved in you know those old photo books that we used to have where we used to print out pictures and then there was like the plastic covering?
Yes.
I know I have a few of those $2 bills saved in them. Yes, we are aging ourselves here. But if you have any $2 Canadian bills, hold on to those. But now we've got the Toonie.
What's next, Maria?
Next, can you guess how a Canadian would say this?
It's not a hat.
It's not a hat.
It's not a
Cap. Is
a
it
cap. No.
No, it's not a cap.
It's not a beanie.
It's not a beanie. It is a
Toque.
That's right. In Canada, we call these toques, unlike our American counterparts that call them beanies. We call them toques. Next Canadian word is super common, beauty.
That's a beauty.
And it's not what you think it means. Of course, beauty means beautiful, but we don't use it in that sense. So, Mark, what does beauty mean?
It actually just means really good or really nice. Oh, what a beauty. That's a beaut.
Yeah.
Just means really good.
So you'll usually hear people say it like, what a beaut, or what a beauty. So maybe you'll hear it like in hockey, if you see somebody like do a really good move or, score a goal, they'll say, what a beauty.
That's a beauty.
What a beauty.
Honestly, I was going to say that. I think it started from hockey.
Probably from hockey. But then you'll hear it like out and about. Like, can you give me an example of maybe when you hear it?
When someone does something good, or if they show you something that they appreciate, if you scored high on a test, maybe you could say, oh, that's a beauty.
Yeah, like if you do really well on your celpip or ielts test, we might say, what a beauty.
Exactly.
Next is if you like having coffee and you go to Tim Hortons a lot, often called Timmy's.
Tim's.
Is if you order a double-double.
Double-double.
What's a double-double?
It's something that's near and dear to my heart. I used to have them every day without failure. Double-double is a coffee that has 2 cream, 2 sugars.
2 creams, 2 sugars. So if you go to Timmy's and you just say double-double, they're going to know right away what
They
you
will
want.
know instantly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and Timmy's or Tim Hortons is kind of like churches here. You just see them everywhere.
A Canadian staple, absolutely.
Canadian staple. So if I order double-double, 2 creams, 2 sugars. Automatically, they'll know what you're ordering.
Absolutely. Okay, so the next one is going to be giver. What does that mean?
Giver is probably one of my favorite Canadian.
Really?
Yeah, I say it all the time actually.
Really?
Yeah,
That's excellent.
Just giver.
Just give her. Just do it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, it means go for it, or give it all you got.
Do your best. Just give her.
Do your best. So you'll hear people say it maybe at the gym, if you're about to lift some weights, just give her.
Yeah. Or even as a term of encouragement. So if
Yes.
someone wants to do something, they're trying to achieve something or accomplish something, you're going to say, give her.
Yeah, give her. Just go for it. Give it all you got.
It's a great idea. Give her.
Just give her.
So Maria, the next one is a Mickey. What is a Mickey?
So it doesn't mean Mickey Mouse, Disney related character.
Classic.
This is actually more of an alcohol related slang word.
Yeah.
It's a flask sized bottle for, vodka or any other kind of drink. I'm pretty sure it's just said like that in Canada. And you and I were talking about this right before we filmed. In, Vancouver, we say Mickey for flask-sized bottles.
Yeah.
But I think what you were saying on the East Coast that you use Mickey for even the smaller size.
Yeah, like the little novelty size bottles, I think on the East Coast we call Mickeys, the little small ones.
Yeah.
And we call the ones that you're talking about pints or half pints.
Yeah, in Vancouver we call Mickey's, the flask-sized ones. And then the next kind of, Canadian slang we're going to use for alcohol-related beverages or bottles is 2-4.
A 2-4.
So a 2-4. So if you want to go to, the liquor store and you want to buy something really quickly, you want to tell your friend, hey, buy me a 2-4 in Vancouver. If you want to get a 2-4 vodka, for example, that's referring to those big bottles of vodka, like a bottle of Smirnoff, like the big bottle. That's a 2-4.
That's really interesting because on the East Coast, when we say grab a 2-4, we're talking about 24 bottles of beer.
Yeah, very different. I mean, I know that you could also say that here in Vancouver, a 2-4 would be also like a case of beer, but a 2-4 in BC would also be equivalent to like a big bottle of, vodka.
That's really interesting. So what are you bringing to the party, Maria?
Probably a 2-4 of vodka or rum.
Excellent.
To share.
I'll bring a Mickey.
To share for everybody to make some punch.
The 2-4 is just for me.
No. The next idiom we want to cover is actually to help you give directions in Canada.
It's a fun way of saying left and right.
Yeah. Hang a Larry, hang a Roger.
A Larry and a Roger. Just take a Roger here and then a Larry after.
Yeah. So hang a Larry means to hang a left or turn left, and hang a Roger means to turn right.
So the next one on the list is washroom.
That's right, washroom. In Canada, we say washroom. In other countries, they might say bathroom or toilet. In Canada, we do say the washroom. I happen to say the ladies' room, just to be a little bit more polite.
It's very elegant.
Yes, that's very true. But in general, people do say the washroom.
It's funny. If you're in public, I will never say anything but washroom.
Yes?
Yeah.
Washroom. That's
Washroom.
true.
Yeah.
Canadian way.
Yeah.
Next Canadian word is runners.
What are runners?
So runners are the same thing as trainers, basically, or sneakers, except that it's very Canadian because nobody really says it outside of Canada.
See, I didn't know that. I call my running shoes runners. I always have, and I just assumed that everyone else in the world did as well.
No, but if you go to, like, say, a sports store in the States, they're pretty much always called trainers or sneakers, but it's pretty much exclusively here to Canada from what I've noticed. And even if you go online shopping, they're always going to be called trainers or I think sneakers are more casual shoes from what I've understood.
I think sneakers is a general term, yeah.
Yeah, sneakers are more general, and then trainers are more for actually training and running. But in Canada, we call them runners. And then sneakers are, like I said, more casual wear.
Yeah. Let's go for a jog. Put on your runners.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so when I'm talking about a summertime treat, what do I call it, Maria?
A Freezie. Do you remember those Mr. Freezies when we were kids?
Yeah.
Those really long, like frozen sticks full of sugar and color.
They're so good.
They are so good. And we used to have them in the deep freezer when we were kids.
So many.
I don't know if they still sell them nowadays. I mean,
I think so.
For any of you who are Canadian, in the comments, put down if you still remember having Mr. Freezies or if they still exist, because I don't buy Mr. Freezies anymore.
Me neither. It's been a long time.
Very common Canadian snack to cool down in the summer.
Do you know what they're called in the States?
I'm not sure what they're called in the States.
I can't remember. I know. Do you think it's because of the brand, Mr. Freeze?
That's a very good question. Any Americans out there watching this, please put it in the comments because we don't know what Freezies are called in the States.
Please tell us.
Please tell us in the comments, what are Freezies called in the States or outside of Canada? Next one is a big contrast between the States and Canada. What would you call like a Pepsi or a Coke or a Mountain Dew?
I know I would call it a pop.
That's right. We call it pop up here, but in the States they call it soda.
I think that sounds so weird.
It does. We never say soda up here. It's always pop.
So what is the very last one, Maria?
Yep, to wrap up our cliche list of Canadian slang, words, and idioms is A.
That's right.
Yeah, do you say A?
No.
You don't? I do.
I do sometimes. I catch myself for sure. I don't think it's as rampant as most people would say. I do, usually in a question.
Yeah?
I think.
I do say it. I find that I say it. I not like all the time, but I do catch myself saying
No way.
it. No way. Yeah, I do say it maybe like not like 100 times a day, but I do find myself saying it maybe in a question or maybe if somebody's told me something that I find interesting, I'll say, is that right, eh? Like I'll do.
That's cool, eh?
There you go. I will say it as a form of expression of interest, and it's just kind of natural for me.
Can you give me an example of how you would use a?
The sun is in my eyes.
I know, eh?
We hope that you've enjoyed these new words that you can use in Canada as you settle into life in Canada, or if you want to join us here in Canada, we are in, ta-da! Beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. If you can think of any other Canadian words or slang that you've heard, leave them in the comments below because Mark and I want to hear from you. And if you want to practice your Canadian English or French, join us for online classes. With Team English for Canada, we are a team of certified Canadian language experts and test experts for the IELTS, CELPIP, or PTE exams. We hope to see you online so that you can join us here in Canada too.